Well, hello. This is the week of March 10th. And as I'm doing this reading, it is Sunday, and it is a new moon in Pisces. As I talked about last week, this weekend and going into tomorrow is all about receiving and allowing and surrendering, and that can be to your own emotions, to a situation, to your divine connection. But as we move into the week, the energy is going to change, and we're going to be moving into Aries energy, and the moon will now be growing larger, which is quite dynamic. So let's see what the general energy for this week is going to be. Interesting. We have justice. So the main thing to remember about this week is you're going to reap what you sow. So if you do nothing, nothing's going to happen probably. Oftentimes too, this is immediate karmic situations. So make sure that you're doing everything with integrity, because you might maybe slip up in that department and you'll be reprimanded immediately. Something's going to happen. I love this card. I consider it pretty neutral to positive, but it is neutral just in the sense that you're just going to get the rewards in what you put energy into. So just remember that this week. This is a good thing. If you're starting some new things, whatever you're putting your energy into, that's where you're going to see action. All right. Let's see what else is going on. Oh, nice. We are starting out with a really strong ace. It's the Ace of Pentacles. This is great for anything new that maybe you conceived this weekend under that Pisces influence, because Pisces tends to have a lot of creativity in it. Did you get a new idea? Is there something you want to launch this week? This would be a great week to do it. Specifically, it's really good for positive lifestyle change. So if you have been thinking about adding something in that's good for you, or taking it away, whatever it may be, the Ace of Pentacles is great for that. It also bodes well for money. But what I want to really stress about aces, just like we're talking about with justice, this is all potential. It's not a guarantee. It's just a signal that, hey, if you decide to go down this path, because I see aces more as a path, you know, a couple of years from now, you're just going to be in a different place than you would be if you stayed on the path you're on. It's something to be activated. This is health ready to be activated. This is money ready to be activated. And with justice, it just means take action and activate. But have no fear. This Nine of Swords is just floating around this reading today for some reason. That's a card of anxiety. Maybe it's a fear of the unknown. I see this come up a lot when maybe you're not over something, or you've had a bad situation happen to you before, so you're wanting to move forward in your life, but you're like, but this happened last time. This is really powerful sometimes. So just be careful. Just realize that what's happened before does not necessarily mean it's going to happen again. Now, I do understand that situations can be triggering, so this oftentimes can be a card of something's going to trigger you. Just try and see that this week and realize that nothing is a done deal here. In fact, we have the World as the outcome this week, which is pretty wonderful. Whenever I see this last card in the deck be the last card in the reading, I see that as an auspicious omen, meaning something is going to be manifested, something is going to wrap up in a beautiful way. This is the last card in the deck, so what it means is that one thing will be satisfactorily ended, and that allows for space for a new thing to come in, right? So just realize that we have got sort of this interesting energy going on of ideas of manifestation. Ideas, you could have an idea about something that you want to do this week and you do it and it wraps up in a great way and it puts you on a road to something else, right? Yeah, and for those of you involved in, let's say, the arts, this could be a project. This is a card that really represents getting some grace in terms of being seen for what you do. This doesn't have to just be for artists, though. This can be for any of you. Whatever it is that you are creating, that you have your reputation involved, this is excellent for people knowing your reputation and being interested in you. This can be in your personal life. Are you a person who has integrity and shows up and people know they can depend on you? Are you someone that people really want to be around, or if you have a hard time, do they want to support? This is just you being seen by others, and oftentimes your reputation going ahead of you. And I think that that's something to think about in our life, especially if we're talking about relationship. Where are you investing in relationships, right? What is your reputation as a friend, a coworker, even an employee, or if you are in collaboration with others? I think this idea of reputation is really strong this week. Over here in our relationship area of the reading, there are two energies that are very interesting. One is fast forward movement, and the other is feeling guarded and maybe keeping up strong boundaries. So many of us are going to be dealing with this situation this week where maybe you're not really quite understanding where someone else is coming from because you're feeling either one of these ways. Like, let's say this is a relationship situation. One person is feeling very guarded and the other person is wanting to really reach out and connect. So just be patient. The outcome here is pretty good. It looks like there'll be positive resolution if you're dealing with this. But, when we are in relationship, we have to remember that every person is their own entire universe, right? And especially if, the older you get, the more experiences you had, the bigger your universe is, right? So, but this is even for people that have known each other a long time. We really don't know what's going on within somebody, and you could be feeling one way and another person's feeling the other way. And so communication is really important, and that will make all the difference. Again, we've got this fear card floating around here, and so don't be afraid to talk this week. Don't be afraid to communicate, but you don't want to push anything, especially if someone's feeling guarded. This energy can feel intrusive. So just, pull in some of that Pisces if you're dealing with another person of just sort of high emotional intelligence and everybody checking in with where they're at. And I guess I'll say vice versa. If you're someone who's feeling guarded, sometimes you get too guarded, and opening up is a really good thing. So just food for thought. Overall, I really like this reading. I really feel that sometimes this card is called the Happily Ever After card, and there's really a theme here about interpersonal connection this week. And, I'd also say self-care right in the middle here. Ace of Pentacles sometimes is check in with the habits that you have, the habits you have of thinking, habits that you have physically, diet, sleep, things like that. But this could be a week of forward movement in a lot of ways, and maybe even some sort of step up in a situation where, because you possibly face a fear, communicate a thought, you end up resolving something that maybe has been hanging around too long. So I hope you enjoy this reading. I'll be back next week to check in and see what the cosmos has to say. And I hope you've got some wonderful days ahead of you. All right, bye-bye.